This fucking Moon Knight bullshit.
Bullshit. You
What's
didn't
this
like this
episode
episode?
No, I did.
Oh. This one's called the friendly type.
Alrighty. Alright. So we start. Oh, yeah, he was like, this episode is like blacking in and the fuck out constantly.
Hell yeah, right off the bat. Yeah, it kind of bummed me out too, because I was like, let's get to the action.
I think it's cool though that now we're seeing the other perspective. We have the same feel, but from the other
Opposite side of the coin. Yeah.
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 I thought that was pretty cool.
I miss Steven. I feel like this is my least favorite episode because I didn't get a lot of Steven in it, to be honest. Who wants the intro?
I think it's Sly's turn.
I'll take it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sly.
Yeah. All right. There we are. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the Foundry Reviews. Today, I, Sly, John, and Ken are reviewing another episode of Moon Knight.
Hey.
Boys, how you doing?
What's happening?
Doing great.
What's poppin'? Oof, we are reviewing episode 3, The Friendly Type. I gotta tell you, this episode is a little different.
It was.
Yeah, it was different. I would say I agree with you that it is different. I still really enjoyed it. I still think the show is pretty damn good, in my opinion. It's still pretty damn good. Probably one of my preferred Disney Plus shows. But yeah, like you said, there wasn't a ton of action in this episode, and I feel like at some point the show may need to focus in a little bit on that. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't like this episode as much personally, just because it had more Mark Spector than Stephen Grant, and I like Stephen Grant a lot more. I think he's a super likable dude, and like they have this thing about like with Mark Spector to where they kind of show him as a murderizing dude who just murders a bunch of people at the drop of a dime. But I mean, like, watching it, like, I feel like I have no problem. I feel like he's just killing cult people, and the cult people seem pretty fucking bad, in my opinion. You know, they're following like a radical kind of like terrorist group of cult people, and I'm like,
but he still has a soul. Like,
I have no problem with it. And then everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's killing people!" Like, yeah, they probably look like they deserve it. Honestly, like they're probably gonna kill him first. You know,
that's kind of why he's alive.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like that's pretty a-okay. And it's so weird because it's like he's like, "Give me the body back! Stop killing people!"
I love that how like he gets mad at Steven too. He's like, "Steven, what the hell?" And he's like, "I didn't do that shit, man. You gotta simmer down." And it's like, oh,
it's
wait,
like, that one
for
wasn't
the first
me.
time. I kind of liked about this episode how for the like, Mark is getting a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, getting pulled out of his own.
Not just that, but also just the genuine like concern for what's happening when he's not in control and realizing it might not be Steven that's, pulling the strings. I like that.
Yeah. That's you're still leaning on your theory that there's a third personality we have yet to see.
You bet I am.
100%.
Oh man, he's gonna be fucking Silverback Central, man. He's gonna be terrifying.
Yeah, there's there was just a lot of points in this episode where they showed you like his life being disrupted, and just like how Steven's life was being disrupted. And this time the consequences may be a little bit more grand and a little bit more dire because like he's in the middle of fighting like a bunch of radicals in a very just a big unknown place. Like at one point he wakes up and he's like, "Where are we going?" "The airport." I'm like, probably because Steven wants to fucking leave this godforsaken country and go back to his life and not be like fighting villains and doing hero suit stuff, I'm like, that's funny as hell. Like, he's like, take me to the fucking airport before we get back. In all 6 episodes, he's just on back and forth on an airplane because they can't fucking decide.
Can you imagine? But I think we finally have like our main objective for like a good part of the rest of the show.
Finally.
It's essentially been established. Like the first couple episodes, we were still kind of like figuring out what's this world all about, who he is and all that stuff, setting up the world. But now we have like, okay, these cultist guys, they're trying to open up this tomb and unleash this god that's been imprisoned and is going to cause bad things if they do it. So now we have to go find this person, and we have very little to go on. So like it's kind of turned into a bit of a a race, a bit of a search, a mystery. And we get some very interesting, I think this episode really highlights Oscar Isaac's like acting chops. He does such a good job representing 2 completely different characters while having the same exact face, but like you somehow still can tell like who's who, even though it's literally the same exact dude.
Yeah, that's some
Like, he does
James
a really good
McAvoy
job.
split type of shit right there. He does a fantastic job on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think a little bit later on when Khonshu has a bad idea of trying to figure out where to go next, he summons all the other gods or whatever, and they're all in Giza, I think.
Pyramid
in
of
the
Giza,
Pyramid of
yes.
Giza. They're all on the inside, and they have a bunch of other ones, and he's like, he doesn't know what's going on, but like they all get like taken over essentially by their gods, each of them, and he has to like he switches voices, like he like has his,
Even
like,
as Khonshu
voice,
yeah.
and then he switches back to himself, and like he does such a convincing job because you can like you see him like mentally switch, and you're like, holy shit, like that's
Yeah.
so convincing
You
that
can
he was
feel-
like, actually taken over.
Feel
And,
the
like-
power of an Egyptian god in his face and his voice as well. Also, can I touch up on the part of when they're in the Pyramid of Giza and they're doing that little trial?
Yeah,
It felt like a very weird situation that I'm not
Yeah.
completely understanding.
Felt
That
weird-
everyone's
weirdly
like, we
political.
have an avatar, and I'm like, do they just go about their normal days? Do the other gods follow around their avatars, like Khonshu following Oscar Isaac? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on with that? Like, are the gods with the avatars completely? Like, I don't know. Like,
I
It
didn't
just-
like
it-
as much that detail.
yeah, I didn't like that that
I
much
didn't like
because
that whole scene besides like
Me
Oscar
either.
Isaac.
Yeah,
like,
they just,
being
like,
a really good
left-
actor.
I feel like they left too much up to the imagination, didn't explain it well enough to. It just I feel like it just had more questions more than anything, and kind of was unnecessary. But I mean, like
Yeah.
that is a good point to be like, hey, there are other gods. Why don't they help? Like, why is Khonshu the only one involved? And of course, the
Yeah.
other ones are like, well, they resent humanity. I feel like there's a better way to come across and say that. And also, why like, how can they not see that if that Arthur is lying to them?
Yeah, that's what got me. That's what pulled me out for.
That's
a bit. That, like,
bananas.
that this comes down to he said, she said, and political bullshit of like, you know, he's crazy, so how can we even trust him? He's just deflecting. How are you as gods not realizing this? Like, you must have like thousands upon thousands of years of like expertise in judging people's and how they do things. Like, how would you not see that?
For God's
Like-
sakes, Arthur has a stick that he puts on people's arms and tells them if they've been bad or good in their entire life, and also will tell them if
Freaking
they've
Santa over here.
yeah been bad or good like in the future as well. And it's like you can't even tell this guy's lying a little bit. Like, follow him for a day, you know, figure it out. Don't be like, all right, he sounds good. Let's get him out of here.
Yeah, that's what got me. I don't know. What do you think? What did you think about that, Sly?
I didn't like that whole scene with all those other gods because one of the things that I immediately thought was there's two important gods that were kind of missing, like their avatars. One, Anubis,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Ra.
Raw as well.
I was big.
Those
angry
were the
about
two
Ra.
ones. That's the two ones I know about, and I'm like, all right, cool. Where are they? Like, those are the only two I
Anubis-
know, and they just left them out, dude.
I'm pissed about Anubis not being there because literally he should be the expert.
Literally, where's
On,
the
like, the
fucking
whole-
Scorpion King, dude? I was looking for him the
He's-
entire time.
He's the
Sorry.
god who literally like weighs people's hearts, you know, against a feather to see like how true, like, you know, how innocent or guilty they are. And then you've got Khonshu who's like, oh yeah, I wait until they've done wrong and then you murder them. And then you've got Ahmet who's like, yeah, babies, yeah, they go straight to hell. So
Yeah.
I would have loved if like that mediator would have like been there and been like, I smell some bullshit. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder if they did. I wonder if they're purposely missing, like
Plus,
something.
I don't know what
happened.
they're setting up with that girl who's like, oh, you know, Khonshu used to listen to her music, and freaking Mark's just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the only thing Khonshu listens to is the sounds of like people screaming.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to set up for later that I feel like you still shouldn't trust her, although she's like, hey,
Yeah.
here's some false sense of security. Like, okay. Thank you, exposition
I
lady.
think it's
Appreciate
actually
it.
kind of throwaway. I feel like she's a one and done. I don't think we'll see her again, to be honest.
I mean, I hope
Hashtag
not.
Side quest.
Yeah, because there's 3 episodes left. The show is halfway done, and like you said just now, at the end of the episode, we finally know what's gonna happen for the rest of the time. But that's what I thought about last episode. Like, all right, cool, we're in Egypt. We're gonna find Amit's tomb. And we're like, still, like, I thought he had the bug, and then minutes later he shows up at the same place that they're at, trying to find a sarcophagus. And I'm like, I thought you had the bug. Like, I literally thought you had the location. What happened?
You had the scarab. What happened?
Yeah,
Like, what's taking so long? Jeez.
he had the scarab, and apparently he needs more. Like, I don't know.
I don't
Very
know.
weird.
Or he's just like greedy. He's like, now I want to go back and like really, just destroy Khonshu, like get him all like, because eventually they're like, oh yeah, well, no, later on, yeah, we'll get there.
I'm confused because it sounds like he found the tomb, but he's like too busy digging, and I was like, okay, then like, what was the point of like this whole episode? Just trying to find like where the dig site is.
Yeah, I mean, like, could he not like? I don't know.
I mean, it literally points to right exactly where it is. So, like, how hard could it be?
I mean, like,
obviously
how
you have
did-
a lot of digging to do, but like, still, you have cultists upon cultists.
Yeah, I
that
feel
are
like
willing to do anything.
I feel like this episode wasn't super thought out, and there's a bit of like few plot holes as well. I mean, like, I feel like this is a guy that has done a ton of research and has dedicated a good bit of his life to finding her tomb because of what Khonshu has put him through, which he references late at the end of the episode. Like, does he not have his shit together? Wouldn't he like collect like Egyptian artifacts for funsies even, or like get his people to go like collect or get information? Like, how does he not already have that sarcophagus that the one dude had? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's just a bit of stuff that they didn't think about, which leads to us having a lot of questions. I mean, like, just kind of that's dumb,
Yep. Yep. But I think after that, the one that you mentioned earlier, that the other chick god, whatever, I don't remember. I should have turned on subtitles for this because I lost all their names while I was watching. It was like,
at that point
speak
I
so
was just
slowly at some point. I'm like, I can't. What are you saying?
slow reverb Egyptian gods.
Yeah. But she gives him a clue, and he goes back into the streets of Egypt to ask about it, and we see his wife. We see his wife. She shows up. She's got a new passport at the beginning of the episode, and she found him in all the streets of Egypt. She just stumbles upon him.
Hey, were you in the Pyramid of Giza?
What was that? You?
Do you have your location on?
You still have your cell phone
sharing,
on.
yeah.
I saw a snap map in the Pyramid of Giza. What the fuck's that about?
Snap map.
I dropped me those freaking ancestral robes, man.
Yeah, this is just it's a bit of a goofy episode. I honestly feel like.
Yeah, I kind of got lost on what they were trying to do at this point in the episode, because they're looking for the sarcophagus of, I don't know, maybe Sly, maybe you know.
I don't know the name of the person. I know that they're looking for the sarcophagus of some random dude who I guess was tasked with like documenting.
Oh yeah, we're almost. Yeah, exactly.
It's just so weird because it's like
It's very arbitrary.
Okay, like, well, why?
Isn't that the
documented?
point of the scarab?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the scarab. Like, what's his face?
That's
The
an
cultist leader
excellent.
still has it.
John just broke down the whole episode. He just
saying, why
deconstructed
have
the
a
whole
map
thing.
when there's
the
also a
scarab,
scarab?
no, rather this dude's tomb, this sarcophagus. That's literally the MacGuffin. It's the only thing keeping this episode going, and it's like a trail that's chasing its own tail. It's so pointless
Yeah.
because the
What-
scarab
wait,
does
what do you mean?
serve
What do
that
you mean?
function. The scarab is meant to be like driving the plot because the scarab is leading you to the tomb.
Whoever
The
has the
scarab's sole
scarab.
The
purpose
bad
was
guys
supposed
have
to
it.
be- It was supposed to be like, hey, this is the only compass to Amit's tomb. And now here we are in the third episode. And they're like, oh no, there's some random dude out in the desert who's buried, who knows where. It's like, come on, man, come on. That's
what
late.
you're saying.
Yep.
Right, it makes the scarab a little less special because you could just find it this way.
It's obsolete.
Although
yeah.
you can't really, because they only were able to do it with Khonshu's power. I won't say how, but only because Khonshu was with them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
And also, why did
I see
Arthur
what you're saying.
get it though? Like, why did Arthur feel like? Why did he need it as well when he already had the scarab? The goof.
'Cause I think he was just trying to stop them from trying to pursue them.
Wouldn't
He was
it be
just trying
better?
to be that thorn in their side?
Like, why don't you win the race instead of like focusing on like doing a demolition derby though?
Maybe he's just doing it while the others are still digging. I don't know.
Why don't they show that? I don't know. Yeah, I'm done being nitpicky about stuff like that. It just, like I said, a lot of stuff didn't make sense to me, and I think the three of us are kind of on the same page and like, huh, what's going on?
Yeah. It breaks down a little bit here for
Yeah.
sure. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, but we
It
saw
definitely felt weird.
we saw some good like fighting, of just like javelin.
Yeah,
I guess
that was good.
a little, a little unconventional. It just
The
kind of.
Egyptian, what do you call it? Is it not jousting?
It kind of looked like jousting, but I think it's called something else.
It is.
Um,
Yeah, I can't remember.
but
the name
yeah.
of it,
They were
it's
just kind of
not.
throwing their javelins and gun v javelin v Moon Knight, kind of going on there. That's at one point when they had like Steven begging, I guess, for the body back, and then he got it, and you saw like the suit transfer, like imagery and everything, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Like it just like immediately changed, and then he gets fucking like he gets a javelin through him, and he's like, all right, take it back. Like I couldn't talk him out of it.
Everybody chill the f out.
Yeah, it was funny. That was my favorite part. It's like, cool, I got Steven. Got Mr.
Yeah.
Knight up in here. I really like
That
him.
was
He's like, no. Tag me in, bud.
That's pretty funny. I just love the fight scene of the one guy who walked in the sarcophagus while Layla was getting together the map, I guess, off the sarcophagus body, and he's like, I'm gonna fight you hand-to-hand combat, even though I most likely have a gun on me, just like every other security guard here. That was nice and completely fucking pointless. The sense of danger here is not that high to me.
No.
No, I mean, he's got like godly powers. Like we know Moon Knight has like there's no sense of danger with him. With her, with Layla a little bit, since she's just a normal person. But because we have Moon Knight on her side, you're like, she's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm not really worried about her.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, like, we should like let her get hit in the face or like get chinned or something like straight up, and then I don't know.
Yeah, seriously. How do you come out of that unscathed?
That's a good point. With his bulletproof fucking cape that when he jumps up in the air, it looks like the crescent moon. Looks fucking sick.
And then he can. It did look sick. It did look sick. I agree.
Yeah, that was a good little scene, good little fight scene. I enjoyed it. And then then Khonshu pretty much after that they were trying to figure out like how the map worked, and he's like, the map. That's when Steven and Mark were actually working together, which is pretty sweet. And like for them to get this done and save the world, like the two personalities have to work together and share the one body. So that was nice to see. That got unraveled. So that was cool to see that. And then Khonshu kind of sacrificed himself in order to find the tomb. Because of which I don't know why he would do that, because I bet there's like about 7 more keys to Amit's tomb, judging by that.
That was a sad
It
scene.
was sad. It was sad.
Not so much like just the part where like he's I won't say it, but kind of disappearing, but the part where he's when they're like, how can we all like find that, and he's like, I remember that night, and he sounds so sad about it. He's like, I remember every night. It sounds like it's plaguing him.
Yeah, like he wasn't
I got
super
that sense too.
aggressive. Almost like he was in a lot of pain to where like I remember every night, like
Yeah.
it would like
He's like cursed
resentful.
with that memory,
Yeah.
Yeah, like he resents the memory, and it brought him so much pain that he's holding a grudge, or it could have been a peaceful memory, like the one, because it kind of implied that that one girl god that we'll probably never see again, according to Ken, that they kind of had maybe some kind of relationship where they were crushing a little bit.
Ooh, that's
an
a
interesting
pretty
thought.
valid point.
Yeah, maybe they had a picnic in the dunes one night or something. I don't know.
Yeah. He was like, shut the fuck up and watch these moons move.
And then he got put inside of a little relic, and I was watching for a minute. I looked away, and for like a couple seconds, I look over, and the gods are talking to Arthur, and he's like talking to him in a little jar, and he's like talking shit. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on, man?
I thought he was
I
gonna
was like-
break it. I was really
I was like, what
worried.
the fuck's going on? I did like the speech Arthur gave. I did like it. And the glass, man, every time I see him, like, you can still hear the glass in his
Oh, you hear
shoes.
the
Yeah,
glass?
I
Yeah.
noticed that too.
Yep.
Terrible. Fucking terrible.
But dude,
What I think this episode did, I'm gonna beat this dead horse, man. I think it's setting up. It started from the very beginning with that whole like Mark and Steven kind of both of them losing control. I think the end of this episode is setting them up for that, because now they're kind of just regular people
yes,
for
they
the
are.
time being. So I think, if the third amigo, decides to come out and play, I think he's gonna be the one doing the heavy lifting in the next episode.
You think so?
I'm almost certain. I'm pretty sure he's the serial killer. I'm pretty sure.
That would be interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one because in the with the second episode, those two guys were like, "Oh, you'd like the one a serial killing like in 15 people and so and so." Are you talking
Right.
about that?
He's also
Uh,
accused of like killing Layla's father, I think, execution style, right? That was that whole conversation from the other episode in
wait, was
the
he? Oh shit! Wait,
I
what?
think that's
Fly's
the
looking through
secret.
his notes. What the fuck?
I'm pretty
What?
sure that's the secret that
Oh, Khonshu was referring to, and
no,
then
not
Layla.
Khonshu.
Oh, then Layla. I thought it
Uh,
was Layla freaking out. I thought I knew everything about you.
yeah, that secret, but it was what's his face, the dude with the cane. Why am I not remembering his name?
Arthur.
Oh, Arthur.
Arthur, the one that
Arthur.
Arthur was like talking about when he came at them when they were finding the sarcophagus. He was like, there's things about him that blah blah blah. You don't know, that sort of a thing. And I think it is referring to the first episode. I think it was the first episode or the last episode or whatever. They were in that taxi when he was still Steven, and they abducted him from his apartment as fake police officers.
Oh.
And they were talking about him killing someone execution style.
Yeah,
I think it's their dad who's dead, and that's what he's secretly been keeping
Hiding.
from her. And
Oh.
I wonder if it's that third personality
Oh,
or if it was just
shoot.
legit him or something.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think either Mark nor Steven knows about the third personality because he was genuinely
They were both
confused in the
confused,
opening
yeah.
sequence
Mhm.
when he freaking gutted those dudes like a fish.
And I
And
think
he's like,
that
Steven, what the hell?
yeah, and I think that it was they were trying to lead us away and thinking that it was Steven because of the airport thing. Like, oh, he's trying to puss out and run. Like,
Yeah.
What a Steven thing to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of Steven, you guys notice Layla's looks at him in the very ending?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
She's legit she's over here, she's like having sex with Mark. She's thinking about Steven.
She's like, what is it? She's like, is that cheating?
Yeah, it's like, am I don't know.
Is this
Like,
polygamy? You tell me.
yeah, that's funny. I feel like Steven's like the side of him that is obsessed with everything she does, that like
Mhm.
loves her, is obsessed with Egypt. They have the same favorite poem or whatever from that first episode when they were like quoting it together.
Yeah.
Like that's all the side that is like obsessed with her. And then, the other side that we've seen is like the action, like, oh, I owe my life to Khonshu side or something. Like he separated himself. I don't know. It's very interesting so far.
Yeah, I like the relationship. I'm interested to see how the relationship with her and his other personalities. I don't really give a fuck about Layla, but I'm curious about the drama. Yeah, as her,
Yeah.
I don't really care about her.
Apparently, she didn't even exist in the comics. She's a brand new character.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so. I think he
a
was
brand
married to
new
someone else
unnecessary
completely.
character. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I think that's about it. Although
Yeah.
we didn't mention the cool ass scene where he changes the stars in the night sky. Like, where was Doctor Strange in that? He didn't like look out his window and be like, "Yo, what the hell is happening to the sky?" And he's like, I better go figure that out. Like,
Get
He's
his
probably off
fucking
in the
get his
multiverse.
cape. Like, are you
Khonshu, I've come
fucking
to
kidding
bargain.
me? Like, you've got to be joking me. Yeah, it's weird to have like such a huge universe and these giant fucking like impactful things that are happening around everybody, and to think that these giant characters who are like so concerned with the universe and the galaxy and what's going on just to ignore them, like, it's nothing.
You know,
It's like,
I
oh.
wonder if Khonshu doing that fucked with the tides.
Probably like fucking killed like thousands of
imagine?
penguins, dude. I'm pissed about it.
For real, yeah.
I'm dropping a whole review point because of that.
oh shit.
Yeah, he probably killed a couple penguins.
I support that. I'll do it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, don't fuck with the penguins, dude.
No, you don't fuck with penguins, man.
Well, guys, let's. What do you guys think? What's a review? Where we at with it?
I
One,
think I give it a
2,
7.
3, 7. That's fair. I'll go with the 7
think-
too.
Yeah.
Like I
Just a
said,
little bit.
Seven around the house.
nice. I don't think. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it was good as the other 2 episodes.
Definitely, 100%. But still a solid episode overall. Still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good. That was a banging series.
I think that's what this show has over the other ones. It's consistently about the same.
Yeah.
The other shows, there was like way too much flux. It was like, wow, this is an 8. And then the next one, you're like, this is shit.
Like
Yeah.
when you got 6 episodes, you can't have filler. Like,
No,
we cannot
Seriously.
stress that enough.
precisely.
No. But yeah, it's very good. But hey, if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to make sure to leave a like and drop a comment down below of what you thought about the episode, or you want to discuss a little bit of your thoughts on this episode. If you think it's a 7 around the house, but we're going to be back a little bit later this week with another episode of some more Moon Knight, you guys. Sorry we were a little late with this one, but we'll see you guys later on the next one. But until then, see you slugs later. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.